and science are separate. But what they don't know, that they are both joined together as one. Join Ben and Louisa on their quest as they bring together. People believe that the paranormal and science are separate. But what they don't know, that they are both joined together as one. Join Ben and Louisa on their quest as they bring together science, occult, and the paranormal. Only on Occult, History, and Science with Ben and Lou.
And welcome, folks, to the Sunday show. Yes, I'm here in all my glory, and my brains haven't fried yet. So yeah, my special guest today here is David.
Oh, Olivia!
So, bit of a change this episode. For those who watched Friday's episode, saw that I was going to have a massive change of subject. I'm going to do a bit of history now, and these are the, how can I put it, forms of execution. These are the most brutal forms of execution in history. Yes, excruciating executions. Lou's told me to say that because I can't pronounce it. Hell. So, obviously, I've got Damon here for some of his reactions. See how he finds it. Lou is obviously sat by the side of me. Normal. She's here. So, obviously, any comments, guys? Please feel free. Hello to everyone. Hello to Stoke Hunters of Stoke-on-Trent.
Ghost Hunters of Ghost-on-Trent.
That's the one. Hey. Yeah, I can't even do it wrong when I'm trying to do it right. So yes, guys. So today we've got a lot to go through because I found one today that I've never even heard of, which is beautiful. But the fact that the Dutch invented this technique makes it even more fun. So it's like the least people you'd expect to do this form of torture, and then they actually go and do it, which is awesome.
Nice.
So let's get the first one off the hook. We all know about hanging. Obviously, rope around your neck, hanging from a tree, legs flat like a chicken. You sort of bob up and down like a fish, and then you're dead. Simple as.
You forgot something there. When you hung, all your bodily fluids, and I mean literally every single one of your bodily fluids comes out. Don't matter what it is, it all comes out. So yeah.
Yeah, the pressure of it, the blood and pressure in your head goes out your eyes, your ears, any hole it can find, even the pores of your skin, you will be neutral. So, yeah, we'll get the boring one out of the way.
Yeah, that's boring.
Obviously, then from there you have hung, drawn, and quartered, which we all know about. If you ever see Braveheart, yeah. Everyone knows that bit and bob. Now, I'm going to go into some of the more interesting ones. I say this, I'm going to start sounding like a serial killer behind the end of this because some of them really interest me on the way of killing people. So, we're going to go with the first one. And this is not to be mistaken with another way of torture. The first one is being boiled to death.
Oh, my favourite.
So these were performed in large vats, usually filled with either oil, water, or wax. And everyone has this thing that you see in Hollywood, that in films where they're just thrown in. No one was ever thrown in. This is where it gets a bit more, I'm going to sound really horrible now and say, really juicy and interesting. Because you were lowered in. by your feet first.
Ow.
Very slowly lowered it. So it wasn't as quick and easy as people think, where it was, yeah, the water's boiling, we'll just throw you. You would lower it in slowly, slowly and slowly into it. Now, there was a few cases of it being, one of them being wine, which I think would be an interesting, because once your blood starts connected to it, you're gonna get drunk off it, which would be really interesting.
You wouldn't feel a thing.
Yeah. And the most brutal one being was molten lead.
Oh God.
So you can, so this is why I had Damon on as guest today, because even he's probably never heard of some of these. His reactions are brilliant.
Lead.
So yeah, you'd have, in obviously this rare occasion that there has been documented evidence of this, you're being dropped in slowly into molten lead as it is boiling away at your feet. So, like I said, guys, this is just the nice first steps. Those of you that are eating, if you want to finish eating, do it quickly. Trust me, they're going to get worse.
2 seconds. I'm just popping over to Discord to see.
That's fine. Oh, yeah. For those that you're watching, we now have Discord set up. You can go on there anytime and get in contact with us straight away. We're always happy to chat on there. There's a massive chat room with all the fans of the show in. It's been a bit interesting already. We've had a bit of a laugh.
Yeah, big shout out to Charles.
Yeah. So, thinking on to that sort of the boiled to death bit, people think that it is done in sort of the ancient era. Now, King Henry VIII did this as well. A torture he used to boil people in the water.
That's because he was fat.
Yeah, he only did it though. You were only boiled to death if you were using poison. If you'd been found using poison to murder people.
That makes sense, because poison's a woman's way of killing people.
Yeah. Now here's something that is going to make everyone be a bit more squeamish. The last time someone was boiled alive, well, actually, I'll leave it to everyone watching. Quickly, what year do you think was the last time someone was boiled alive? I'll give you about 10 seconds.
December the 19th, 2021.
No.
Ah, I thought I'd be specific.
No.
This is going to be quite. This is where you need what's her name? Who won the paranormal quiz?
Oh, Donna.
Donna, yeah, she'd be like, have like date and time, like what the equinox is, there's everything.
1980. Yeah. Put it this way: the date even shocked the hell out of me when it was last used. So, the last time it was used was in Uzbekistan by, I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name because it is a full-on Muslim name. 1901. Drop there. It was used to kill people that attempted to do a terrorist attack. And the year was 2002.
Right, okay, so that might shock some people, right? But I'm at the point where I'm like, with that sort of side of the world and the way yeah, it sort of, I'm like, really? And I'm sort of like, no, that sort of does make. I love the way you're talking about like death, and then you've got the dog squeaky toy going in the background to make us all feel a little bit more down.
No. But yeah, that was the last time someone was boiled alive. It was 2002.
Wow.
Now, I do know of a date a bit closer to time, which was 2017, where a woman was boiled to death in Africa for performing witchcraft.
Be careful.
Yeah. But when it comes to Africa, they don't really keep track properly of that. That was just, that one got through on the news. So, now on to one of Damon's favourite ones, if not the favourite one.
Oh, yeah.
The Viking Blood Eagle.
Oh, I love this.
Now, this is a questionable one because there wasn't a lot of evidence of this being happened. However, Vikings usually wrote down what happened.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you were bent over a rock, your back was stripped, your ribs were ripped apart, and your lungs were gently brought out and placed on your cracked ribs. To put it in a blunt perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the person doing it was right, and sometimes they used to use like hunters and stuff because they knew how to cut, the person would be kept alive. Probably be left alive for probably a maximum of about a day after.
Yeah.
And then the shock would kick. Well, shock would kick in anyway. So if they managed to survive, they managed to survive it. Now, that one is quite a well one. If you want to go see it done, you can watch the TV show Vikings or anything like that. You can find it. They show you a good demonstration of how it was.
Also, to add on top of that is if it was also believed that if you screamed out or you passed out, that you wouldn't be able to enter Valhalla to meet Odin.
You had to die like a warrior with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, next one, which a man was made very famous for this, is impalement.
Oh, Vlad. Yes.
Oh, Vlad the Impaler. Yes, Vlad the Impaler. Just say hello to everyone in the comments as well, because I'm seeing everyone come up. Matt from last night. Bless you, Matt. Nice to see you again. Hope you well, it was a pleasure having you on last night. If anyone missed that, go watch last night's chat with Matt. Brilliant. That was a legend.
Easily.
So yeah, we've got Debs, Natasha on YouTube.
YouTube.
Supernatural UK, how we doing? We will be with you guys in a bit. Obviously, Jenny at Net, all the regulars are in. It's nice to see you all. So, with the impalement, now I thought this was a bit more just shove it and you were done kind of thing.
All I can think of is splinters. Oh.
Yeah, I'm about to make impalement. Oh, Kath. I'm about to make impalement be a bit more painful now when I tell you how it was actually done. No, shut up. So when it came to impalement, the sticks that you were impaled on were partially sharpened and then oiled up.
Oh, at least they use lube. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, but that became a problem because they would either insert the tip into your anus or your rectum, as it was wrote, or if it was ladies, you can imagine where it went. It wasn't the rectum.
This is so painful. I'm not going to walk properly. Ever.
So now, obviously, most people think that we just placed on there. You wasn't. You was gently placed on there. So over time, your body's weight would force that spear through your body and usually out either your shoulder, your back, or your mouth.
Oh,
in some cases, it was known to have gone through the mouth and out the top of the head of the brain. So this wasn't a fast death that we all thought. When you look into this, this was very, very slow and incredibly painful.
I had something really witty in my mind then, but I'm not going to say it because I'll probably get banned. So,
well, this technique has been used since the 1772 BC, so it's been going for centuries. One of the easiest and early ways of killing. Just to throw a really bad shadow over history and something that needs to be remembered is the Armenian genocide that happened in 1915 to 1923. This is how people were killed then in the genocide.
Ben, did you see Kathy's comment?
It would be over pretty quick. Oh, bless you, Kath. That's all.
It's already bad for laughing because it's out of order, but do you know what? Do you have anyone in witty comments and you just have to laugh?
God, that's just Kathy, bless you.
Oh.
But yeah, just to obviously recap on what Kathy said. Most of the longest people were left alive for that sort of incident was 8 days. You would survive 8 days being impaled. But as Kathy said, bless her, it'd be over in a couple of minutes from what she was saying. So we love you, Kath.
I feel really bad because I moan when I get bad stomach aches and constipation, but these people, what they went through is just completely compared to that. You know what I mean? Wow.
Oh, they get far worse.
Oh, great.
So going over to another one, I'm going to say, gotta love the Dutch on this because it was the Dutch and the French that used this.
All right.
Is keel hauling. So we all pretty much have some sort of idea on that one. For those of you who don't know, this is when you were basically stripped down. You had a rope tied around you, and you were pushed overboard at sea. Now, the underside of most ships have barnacles on. Now, barnacles are solid, like rock creatures, and they are very sharp.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine being dragged along underneath a boat with that for a good long amount of time. Your back's banging against the ship. You're in salt water. Some people are recorded to have lost limbs, even severed their necks. Oof. Bringing up carcasses of people. But it gets better. It gets better because if you survive that and they brought you back up on board, they would hang you from the mast for 15 minutes so you can get recovered, get breathing again. And then they would shove a sponge in your mouth with liquid on so that you could still breathe and you didn't drown. And then throw you back under. And they'd keep repeating this until you were dead. So you have to hope that when you first go under, you smack your head against the keel and you're out cold.
Oh, it's like a bad case of going off your superbike at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, that's painful.
I told you, some of these are painful, but some of them get even worse. Some of them get. There's one here in particular that is really painful, and all I've done is wrote one word. For two of them, I've just wrote one word for each, knowing how painful they are.
Big shouts out to Irene. Out to all the Japan.
Hello, Irene.
Hello, Irene.
Nice to see you. Stoke Hunters.
Yeah.
Remember that from my pirate days. So, the next one is the Roman candle.
See, that sounds really peaceful, right?
It does sound peaceful. However, the subject was strapped to obviously a log, and pretty much the same as witch burning. So you can imagine how that. However, with the Roman candle, you were covered in a flammable liquid round your feet, so that your feet would set on fire and you would slowly burn.
Oh man, nah, not me.
Luckily, with this one, due to the fact of how you were burning, modern science has caught up with it, and you would have basically passed out before you even started to burn, due to the fact of lack of oxygen. So you would have suffocated and died. But this is where it gets juicy again. Emperor Nero. So we know Emperor Nero. If anyone doesn't know Emperor Nero from history, he is one of the most brutal dictators of Rome, of ancient Rome. He was barbaric beyond belief. He used this technique to kill Christians in their thousands. But this is where the interesting part is. He used to line these Roman candles up round his sort of palace, in a sense, or his grand house, wherever he was having parties.
Right.
And the people that he was burning, he used to use the light of them obviously burning to light up his house whilst he was having parties.
Wow.
So they were being executed and he was having a party.
World's biggest birthday candles.
Pretty much. But yeah, he used to just line them up round his house, line them up along his road. So he was having a party, and people would be there on fire whilst people are coming and having a party.
Oof. I Joe, what, that's my biggest fear, man, is burning to death. I don't think I'd ever want to burn to death. Like, it's just scary.
Yeah, it's not a good way to go.
Mm.
But then the next one is probably one of the worst ways I think you can go.
Right.
Now this is called the rat torture.
Oh, I've heard of this.
But there's also another one in here I'm going to throw that we have done, and let's just say the date on it of the last time it was done was very close, but they didn't give the full thing out. It just literally said this has been used more recent than you think. So it makes you wonder. So the rat torture is where you were laid either sat up with your legs out, or you were strapped to a table. A small cage was placed onto your bare stomach.
No.
The dog's running off with loose wool, because she's obviously making more Bathomets, and the dog has decided she wants the wool. She's a terrier. Of course she's going to clamp her jaw shut.
Put your tongue down.
Do you want me to give you a hand? Yeah, she's giving the dog a teeth flossing as well. So obviously, yeah. I think we're done. So yeah. Oh, Irene's put Christians were crucified like Jesus Christ. Yeah, the crucifixions. Yeah, they were quite a nice. As bad as this sounds, they're a nice way of going compared to these.
What isn't Christian quite a big thing in Japan and China and places like that?
No, Japan's mainly atheist now.
One, right? Okay, I knew it was one of the two. Both are basically the same.
Yeah, Japan, if I'm not correct, is mainly atheist, but they still have very I can't think of the word. Superstitious. They're still very superstitious.
A bit like Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. So yeah, with the rat torture, there was a cage placed on you full of rats, and then it was warmed up, and the only exit point for them rats was to go straight through you.
Yeah, it was used made famous by the Italian mafia during the early stages of the mafia in America. I think it's the 40s. They used to use that.
It was renowned, used in New York for it, because New York is just full of rats. But it has been used for centuries, and it is. Put it this way: you were alive while they were busy scuttling inside your body.
Yeah, there's stories that what's his name? I can't remember. They used to call him the Teflon Don. Can't remember what his name was, but he was the head of the mafia in New York in like the 40s and 50s, and he made a rat torture helmet.
Yeah,
where he used to put the head, and the rats used to eat through the head.
Yeah, Al Capone was famous for doing it.
Oh,
yeah, and Edinburgh have done it. Now, England. I've just said that really weird. England.
You said it like
the Tower of London had what was known as the rat dungeon. Now, this was a different technique they used, where the rat dungeon was lower than the watermark. So the rats used to swim in from the Thames and start to chew on you from there.
Ooh.
Now, this is the one that had underneath it, this technique has recently been used. So it makes you wonder what the hell was going on. Someone's probably tried to do that.
Yeah. I mean...
But yeah. So from there, flying over to Asia now. So China, Japan, all this lot. Irene probably knows this one herself, which was called a bamboo bed rack. It's like the dog's still got some.
Let me check the thingy quickly. Hold on.
Yeah. So the bamboo bed rack was where you were strapped down onto a square. The dog's got my finger. Square. A square rack you were tied to, and then bamboo shoots were placed underneath you and allowed to grow. Now, a bamboo shoot grows 3 foot in the space of 24 hours. So you can imagine what would happen. Obviously, they would grow. They have a rate of like a ridiculously sharp point as they grow. So they used to just grow up and slowly pierce your body. To prove that this was actually done, Mythbusters, a TV show, tried to debunk this in 2008, and they actually managed to prove that it was real. So you can actually go find that episode where they do it. And yeah, it took them 3 days for this bamboo to grow and pierce through ballistic gel, which they use for the ballistic training dummies for bullets, to show the damage it does to a body. And they actually grow through the body, piercing it, and carry on growing. So you imagine you're strapped to this, and it is a slow, painful death. I knew David would flinch at that one.
No, it's not that. It's because like, when you walk around, because I work in London, right? When you walk around in London, the trees that grow in London, they normally put concrete around the bottom of them, because so people can't dig them up. Because if it's not tied down in London, they'll nick it. But
yeah,
and you see the trees pushing the concrete up and cracking the concrete. Now, concrete is harder than our bodies and bone and that. So you can only imagine what the bamboo does.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
And it grows like 3 foot in 24 hours. So
oh God.
You imagine how quickly that'll grow through your body if you're strapped there.
And it's got its own fertilizer wrapped in from your body as well.
Yep. So it starts to dig more and more and more because it's getting fed more and more and more.
Wow.
So the next one is flaying or flogging or sort of them sort of things.
Hmm.
Now this is where chunks of skin were
Nala likes that one.
surgically removed. Well, let's put it nicely removed from your body. So strips of skin were ripped off you. And they did it to keep you alive, so they do it in the right places to strip these off. Same way of dying by 1,000 papers, where they used to cut you in certain places without you dying, but the amount of adrenaline would just kick in and make you have a heart attack.
Yeah, the samurai used to do something like that, where they used to kill you with 1,000.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah. Ow.
So yeah, that was them two are very brutal. The Apache used that one. Yeah, there's a lot of Apache used to scalp as well, which was another technique of cutting just along the hairline. Yeah, you'd be safe then. You're fine. I think me and you would be safe. Our hairline's too far back.
Halfway from the end.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
The next one, and this is where I've just wrote the word bull.
Right.
Now, this is one of the more famous ones from the ancient world, where they placed a bronze bull over a fire.
Mm.
And they would throw you inside.
Yeah. I've heard of this one.
Shut the lid.
Yeah. Mainly used for adulterers in ancient Greece.
Pretty much, yeah. And used for whatever they really wanted to use. In my personal thought, this doesn't reflect the show's beliefs or anyone else's. This just reflects mine. I believe nowadays that should be used for getting rid of paedophiles.
100%.
Yeah. I do believe that is how they should get rid of them, but that is my own personal belief. It does not reflect the beliefs of the show. So, Facebook, you can't do anything. So, that one was one of the brutal ones. If you died that way, it's somewhat quick, but ridiculously painful death.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything you touch, your skin would just stick to it and burn off.
Oh, pain.
Yeah. The pain would be unreal. You imagine every time you touch oh yeah. Do you know what? Facebook, sod you. I've got more people agreeing with me that should be the ideal way of killing people.
We'll have to hashtag it.
Yep. Now, the other one, obviously, one of the older ones that we know of was the drowning chair, which was witchcraft, all that sort of stuff, where you were strapped to a chair, you were plunged underwater. If you managed to survive, you were a witch. If you didn't, then you were blessed there and then. Now, this is one of the ones that I was on about that I love the Dutch for inventing.
Right.
They came up with a different idea of getting rid of criminals. So, you were placed into a cell that was filled partly with water, and the water would start rising. Now, sorry, no, let me scratch that. The cell itself hardly had any water. Hydro had hardly any water, a small bit of water. You were placed in a cell with a bed in a cage. Now, I gotta love the Dutch for this because this is a good way of killing someone. The criminal was thrown in there, and there was a pump in the corner. Now, to keep the water level low, because these cells were below the waterline, you had to use the pump. Now, using the pump would tire you out. So the instant you'd stop, the water would slowly start to build.
Ooh.
So criminals had to obviously keep working this pump day in, day out to stop themselves from drowning. If they survived, their term in this cell obviously went free.
Right.
If they didn't, obviously you just drowned, and it was your own fault because you either became too lazy, too tired, or just a bit of both.
Right.
But that has got to be a brilliant way of killing someone, and that's from the Dutch. So these guys don't really do that sort of. They're not horrible people. If anyone wants an interesting fact, look at the Canadian-Dutch war that is still going to this day, and that's over a small plot of land where the two most friendliest countries in the world basically have a war by going on there, swapping each other's flags and leaving each other a bottle of different stuff. So I think Canadian leave Canadian, I think it's something like Canadian brandy, and the Dutch will take Canadian brandy back, and they'll leave the Dutch flag and a Dutch bottle of schnapps. And then obviously the Canadians will come back, take that flag, take the drink, then place their flag and that bottle there. And then that's how they've been going for the past, I think it's for the past 60 years. This is how these two have been at war.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then they go and invent, and then they go and invent a kill, like how to kill people this way. It's like, what the hell?
Proper evil. Like,
but yeah. Yeah. Then there is the breaking wheel one.
Breaking wheel.
Yeah. Now on this one, you were strapped to a wheel of a cart. Your bones were broken, and then you was taken around. Then after that, once they'd finished parading you around the city with all your bones broken, attached to this cart, they'd take the wheel off with you still attached to it, rope it up, hang it from the nearest church, and then let the birds, seagulls, whatever was about, just start feasting on you.
Ooh. That's just OTT. Like, the wheel was enough. The wheel was enough, guys. Like,
yeah. Now, one of the more brutal ones, you know, when I said a minute ago, and Lou was like, that's the one that you said was really nasty way to die. Yes. Well, this one's called the saw.
right.
You were placed upside down, so all the blood would rush to your head, so you'd be kept awake and alive. You were hung, so basically your arms were attached, your legs were attached, upside down, basically like a skin when it's about to be tanned. Then they would get a large saw. You know, the ones they use for cutting trees down that you see in America? They would place it in between your legs and start to saw.
Ow.
You are fully conscious, fully awake for this because the blood is flowing to your head, so it's keeping you awake.
Yeah, that's saying you won't really start to pass out or die until it gets to like the middle of your body.
Yeah, exactly. So they'd start cutting away slowly down your body with this massive hacksaw.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Yeah. But all... Go on, mate.
I said I was going to say, it just... my brain's like, man, this must take a seriously, like, psychotic person to come up with these sort of tortures.
No, these were all done. These sort of tortures were all done during the Inquisitions. Got loads more from the Inquisition, where they used to. One of them was where you were put onto like a wooden horse, which was like a triangle, and then you'd have weights attached to your feet, so you'd slowly just split open. Obviously, people know about the famous one, which was the rack, where you were attached by ropes and legs, and then they slowly turned the wheels, stretching you out.
Mm-hmm.
There was the being placed under a rock, and there 4 screws each end, and they would screw them, slowly turn the screws, lowering the rock onto you, slowly crushing you to death. That's why prison guards in the UK get called screws. That's where that saying comes from.
I was a screw, and I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's where the name screws comes from, because they used to just do that to prisoners.
Wasn't there also the famous one where if you back in Victorian times, or maybe before that, it might have been Henry VIII's time, where if you was caught with treason, they had 4 shire horses pull your body into 4 bits, and it was posted to the 4 parts of England.
That was a Chinese execution that was performed, and then it eventually came to us. Yeah, the Chinese used to do that, which was attach 4 ropes to your body, on your arms and your legs, and then they would just go and let the horses run in every direction and rip you apart.
Yeah. It's just it's evil.
Yeah.
Evil. I'm about to sleep tonight. I'm gonna have to go and watch an episode of My Little Pony before I go to sleep now.
Now, 3 I haven't mentioned, and these 3 are old school because they are Egyptian techniques, along with one of them is a Persian technique as well. Now, these, in my eyes, are some of the most brutal ways you could possibly go.
Mm-hmm.
First one was what was known as Kiss of the Sands.
Right.
Now, this was where you were taken out into the Sahara, you were strapped down and left there until a sandstorm would come.
Right.
And if anyone has ever seen an industrial sandblaster, that is pretty much what a sandstorm in Egypt looks like.
Tear your skin completely off.
Yeah, it would rip you from bare... Well, it would rip skin from bare bone.
Yeah.
However, they used to cover your head.
So you stay alive, obviously.
You would stay alive for the whole thing while it ripped your body to pieces.
Oof.
Second one, which you've all seen in films, was using cobras. Well, using venomous snakes.
Right.
And obviously they would put one in your bed, it would crawl up and bite. Yeah. Certain venom from sort of Arabic snakes doesn't kill you outright, but it boils your blood, causes a chemical reaction in your blood starts to expand and contract and basically start to boil in your body.
Yeah. According to folklore, that's how Ragnar Lothbrok died. He was chucked into a pit of snakes and he boiled.
Then obviously you had the scorpions, which they used to use for killing you as well, stuff like that. Now, obviously there was the other one as well where you were tied to a rope, dragged via a chariot through the sands as well.
Yeah, which will cause a lot of damage.
Yep. Now the best one, and this in my eyes has to still be the worst possible way of dying ever. And that is, if I can pronounce it properly, because I'm all right. Yeah.
It doesn't look right.
It's not, but I put scapism. but I can't remember the actual name for it. But this was one of the worst ways you could possibly die. They would take you in Persia, in Egypt, Babylon, all the old sort of areas. Even Sumeria did this.
Right.
They would take you, strap you to a boat or any sort of raft. They would feed you on a diet of milk and honey.
Right.
Sounds not too bad, does it?
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah. You're strapped in the middle of water, be it a river, a lake, or something. You've just been given a diet of milk and honey and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Your body does not agree with that sort of diet.
Right.
You start to release excrement. You basically have diarrhea.
Yeah.
So they keep feeding you this. Your body gets hot. Your diarrhea starts to smell. Bugs start to appear around you. By this point, you've got milk, honey smeared all over your body because they've just been feeding you and feeding you. They're not nicely feeding, they're just literally throwing it on you.
Yeah.
The bugs start to nip away at your skin slowly, bit by bit. Oh, nice.
Look at the cute baby deer instead.
Oh,
Cute.
about it now.
But yeah, they would slowly start to nip and bite at your skin.
Mm-hmm.
Then the bugs would start to lay eggs in the excrement that's come out of your body.
Right.
Then maggots would start to eat your excrement and they would slowly work away to your body.
Right.
And they would slowly eat your body from the inside out.
Lovely.
And this was done over the course of days and months.
Oh.
Records show that a bloke that I think he stole something quite heavy of value. He went through this and lived at least 4 months.
Oh, I don't think I could live off milk and honey for 4 months.
Yeah, they were just feeding him milk and honey, and obviously then bugs slowly come. You imagine you're in the heat of the desert, strapped to a raft in the middle of the Nile. The bugs and everything. If you've ever been near a river or water, you know the amount of bugs up there. This starts churning more and more and more. You are slowly being eaten from the inside out by small bugs.
Mm. Oh.
I would rather have the other ones. You know you're going to be out of your misery quite soon. This went on for months.
Apart from being sawn in half, yeah, I think that one's probably the worst.
Yeah. This one went down in history and still is in history as being the most brutal one to go by.
Oh man, it doesn't sound right. It just no. I best of times, but I mean there is no.
If anyone's ever been up for a walk in the countryside, you've seen a corpse by the road and you've seen all the maggots and all the flies that are on it. Imagine that on your body and inside your body, and that's how that execution was done.
While you're alive. Oh no.
Yeah, while you're alive, fully conscious, fully alive.
That's bad.
So yeah, that's them executions.
Didn't the Egyptians used to bury you alive with scarabs as well?
There was myths about that, yeah. But what they used to do was, the problem was the Mummy came along. Don't get me wrong, the Mummy is a brilliant film. We all grew up on the Mummy. But they missed a bit out there where you were buried with scarabs, but you were covered in sort of not honey, but more food and stuff like that. And then yeah, you were buried alive with these bugs all over. But that was left for those that did treason against the pharaohs.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, there is some more ones out there for executions that are they are brutal, but not as brutal as these ones I've just mentioned.
Yeah, no, I don't think, even if someone sat there with me and went, look, when you just come up with a really brutal way of killing somebody, I don't think I would come up with something that good.
Yeah.
I've got a wicked imagination.
Yeah, that final one is probably the worst.
Yeah.
With the Egyptian one, Irene, they made sure of it. They did sacrificial incantations and rituals to make sure that the spirit didn't leave the body.
They used to carve them on the sarcophagus.
Yeah, they had small amulets as well around their necks that were said to have captured the spirits. And these necklaces were then taken off when they went to recover the body because they weren't mummified after this. And them gems are said to have been cast out into the Sahara Desert. If you find one of these gems, then there's a lot of history that goes into that where it can cause you a hell of issues.
In their stories as well was when they used to bury pharaohs and stuff like that. In the I can't remember what it was called. It was like they used to bury them in like the oasis of Armshire or something. I don't know. I just got that from the mummy, but they used to have like lapis lazuli implanted in the wall around the outside of the perimeter to stop the spirits from the bad spirits coming out or something.
Yeah. They did a lot of things. I think what I'm going to do is for the next series, I'm going to look at the old ways for honouring the dead. So I'm going to look at the Egyptian ways of how they perform the death rituals, the Book of the Dead, stuff like that. So I'm going to try and cover a bit more of Egypt now. The Egyptian history and that lot. It's something very close to my heart when it comes to all the the Arabic nomads, stuff like that, because one of my friends happens to live with them and he is one of the extended family. So I'm going to try and cover some of them sort of stories because some of the stuff they do is quite nice. Some of the rituals and the death rites and stuff like that are really good and really interesting, to be honest. So yeah, I will try and cover Egypt quite a bit. That'll be the next one, but I just thought we'd do this one now, guys. I thought I'd do just out of there to throw it out into it because we was on about it on the show, won't we? Friday, I think it was Friday's show. We was on about it.
Yeah, Friday's show. Yeah, we were talking about it.
And I thought I'd just do one on the executions just so we can see what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to cover some of the Native American ones because there are so many different tribes. It extends massively out when it comes to them, each with their own different techniques. In fact, most of South America, places like that, had massive amounts of different techniques. As Chris is saying, the mummification technique is brilliant. The one thing I will say though is they have never found, as much as people will try and teach you this. Whenever you go out to Egypt, they always say this: there was never a mummy found inside the pyramids. The Pyramid of Giza never had any mummies found inside it. It was empty. There was no room for a sarcophagus or anything. They were all buried in the Valley of the Kings.
Oh, okay. Right.
It was as you look at pyramids themselves, you have 3 pyramids of Giza.
Yeah.
Then you have 3 other pyramids, which were step pyramids.
Yeah.
They do have room in there for a sarcophagus. I will drag up a video and a photo of me down actually in one of them, if I can find it, which I think is on the old laptop, and it'll show you in there that there is actually a stone area for a sarcophagus to be in. This is where they actually found one, and you will be able to tell the difference.
Cool.
So yeah, I'll get that all set up. Probably not for next week because obviously me and Lou are off to Pendle Hill next week with the pup and the child. We're going to try and there won't be a Sunday show. Let's put it that way. Because I'll be too tired. We'll try and get on for Friday's show, but if not, Damien, I'm sure, holds the fort.
Yeah. Boom.
But yeah, could listen to ancient history all day long. I'm going to try and cover some more ancient history, guys, because like I know we've done the science stuff. I haven't really gone into the history stuff, and history, both history, science, and the occult. This is why I set up this show. Are very close to my heart. I do love enjoying bringing stuff like that up. So there's a lot I've packed out for the next couple of shows.
Wicked.
So once I've had my holiday, we'll be back. Then we'll be cruising on through.
I think I'm joined by Annie Sedora on Friday.
Yes, yeah, I need to be on the shows.
Well, Wi-Fi's good.
Yeah, I have to hope the Wi-Fi is good where I'm going.
If it isn't, I mean, I'm just saying to people out there that on Friday's show, it won't just be me chatting crap like I normally do. I do have a guest coming in, and Annie's going to be talking about higher spiritual realms and something that Ben said in the chat room that I can't pronounce.
Higher sentient beings.
That's the one.
T on the end.
Sentient. Fine. Scone.
That's the
Scone or scone.
That it's a scone. It's a scone.
It is a scone. But once Ben is right.
It is a scone. Like the Queen says.
Yeah, but that's like when people say, "Are you from Bath or Bath?" You from Bath?
From Bath.
Yeah. Yeah, Bath, not Bath.
No, you don't. It's Bath. I'm going for a bath.
No, it's Bath.
No, Bath.
Bath.
Oh God, I'm not even going there.
Yeah, it's Bath.
No.
B-A-T-H, Bath.
Bath.
There's no R in it.
No, it's a silent R. It's a silent, not there R. Oh, now Kathy's taking a mickey out of me. I'm from London.
What's Chris? But just watch when you go to Pendle. The cemetery has a mad carrying on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
The thing is, she says we don't want people coming around here. It's our village. She's not even from that village. She's from County Durham. You tell by her accent.
Wow.
Not like your relatives up there.
Well done.
Told. Yeah.
Well done, Chris. You've just woken the Kraken.
So,
From South. I'm from South.
Oh dear. But yeah, so I know you've got.
One day I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go through all the slang words that we say in Essex, right, and see if Ben could pick up on them. Like we say claret and we say salad and stuff like that, and it goes to different things. So one day we'll do that on the show just to see.
Yeah, you say like you going down the alley when you go down a jitty.
No, I mean like if you see someone bleeding, you don't turn around and say there's blood everywhere where I'm from. You turn around and say there's claret all over the place. That's what we say. We say claret all over the place. Or if someone's having a seizure, we call it a salad. It's just what we. I don't know. It's a London thing. It's like apples. You're going up the apples. That's the stairs. It's just a London thing, isn't it?
Oh.
Don't even go there. You call a roll a cob. I'm not even going there. I'm not even going there.
What? Yeah, you get a cob. You get a chip butty. It's a cob.
No, it's normally like this big, and it's got sweet corn all round it, right? Because it's corn on the cob.
Yeah, a cob's a round thing though. A roll is like a French stick kind of thing. That's a roll.
No, I'm not going. A roll can't be a French stick. You just said a roll is a French stick. No, a French stick is a French stick. A roll is a roll. A cob is when you finish your freaking sweet corn. Oh dear.
Let's just accept one thing, and if anyone gets what movie this is from, I'll give you massive credit from this, and that is just that a roll is a roll and a toll is a toll. And if we don't get no toll, then we don't get no rolls.
I don't know what film that's from.
If anyone can tell what film that's from, man, you get my utmost respect. But yeah, so like I said, we have a lot in the woodwork at the minute, as they say. Because we just, I'm still shocked over how much we've grown, how many people have come out, and they're enjoying the show, which makes it even better.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is. I'm proper humbled by the response that we got. I feel like, Joe, literally, I could have nobody else join the YouTube or the Patreon, and I'll just be so humbled, and I'd be happy to plod along like that for the rest of the time we're doing it. I mean, the response has been amazing. Like the guys logged in regularly, just amazing people.
Put it this way, we never expected. Oh, hi, Claire.
Hello, Claire.
We never expected this response. Even I didn't. When I went to film with the guys, I was expecting nowhere near this sort of response. As even Josh said himself, I didn't ask for any money, didn't ask for anything. Me, Damon, and Lou don't do this to make money or to be famous or anything like that. We do this because we wanted to give something back. We wanted to sort of give an education, if we can, to people. Like, people we know now that have watched this show for ages, they don't use white sage anymore. They use frankincense, they use other stuff to cleanse it.
Add to Claire, she says, nice haircut, Damon. Thank you very much, Ings. And she says, because you guys are real, know your stuff.
Yeah, me and Lou, the dog's going manic, attacking Lou. Me and Lou have worked with Claire before. Their team is absolutely brilliant, guys. If you're ever in the UK, or if you're from the UK, honestly, go on some of their nights. They're brilliant. I'm going to put up a link on some point. We're going to put stuff up so people know who we work with and who we vouch for. And they're one of the few teams, like I always say, they don't give you BS. They tell you as it is. No. And this is what me and Damon and Lou always do on the show. We don't give you BS. We tell you the solid truth.
No, it's true. And at the end of the day, like, we don't do this because we're trying to be that Bacons on the next event fielding or anything like that. We do it because this is what we enjoy doing. We love researching, we love learning, and we like and like I said it on the I've done a daily video log on the Patreon today. I said it to the guys. The oldest way of learning is by sharing knowledge, by word of mouth, and that's the reason we do this. We share our knowledge because at the end of the day, it's not just ours; it's everybody's.
Yeah, that's the best way. Yeah, there's Kathy as well. Kathy's group, she's put up. We're going to do a list, guys, of all the groups that we vouch for and all the people we work with. You say not work with, and even like Truce Collective. Obviously, they're the main group that we help. Obviously, David is there. Hey,
and Supernatural.
Yeah. So we have two main groups. Obviously, we have Truce Collective, Supernatural, UK, and then obviously below that we have groups that we've worked with that we vouch. If you want a good night to go on investigations with them, they have some brilliant locations. Claire, for example, her group did the ancient ramming last night.
NPI, National Paranormal Investigators, isn't it?
Yep. But we will link everyone on to this network.
Yeah.
And then this network, as we said to Matt last night, our network will be linking with the P3 network, and then we'll become a bigger entity. And that's how Para-Unity works. And trust me, if anyone knows me and has watched me over these years, you know them words that just left my mouth about Para-Unity. This is actually a Para-Unity I can actually believe in.
And we can vouch for it.
Yeah. Matt is running it brilliantly.
We spoke to Matt last night on our bonus show that we done last night, and honestly, like, the guy knows his stuff. He's genuine. Anyone's interested in it, where we posted a link up on the page. Lou done it last night. Go and check it out. Go and check it out. The only thing you sign for when you sign up for the P3 Para-Unity is the fact that you're going to share evidence with everyone else, and that you're going to help as much as they help. That's not a contract, is it? That's just being what we should be in this community.
Yeah.
Working together, really. So
yeah, it's becoming. We're about to enter a massive new dawn of stuff.
Here, look at this. Look what Claire put up. Just realised Ben's getting more hairy and Damien's getting less. I sent it to him via first class, and he receives it quite quickly.
Yeah, I just stick patches on.
No.
Well, yeah, that's it for me this week, guys. I may have some lives during the week because I have got to start doing my book. For those of you that saw, the guys on Patreon are about the pups running around with the remote control. I'm doing the angelic calls and lining them up with the angelic seals, and they are, in a sense, being lined up with the demonic seals. So you're going to have the 72 angelics, the 72 demonics lined up together for the first time. Obviously, I'll be putting photographs of them. What have we got from Stoke? Lots of snakes and
Stabbackers.
Stabbackers. You guys, and Awakening the Paranormal, honestly nice. Yeah, big shout out to Awakening the Paranormal. Them guys are brilliant. Me and Dave have had quite a few chats. So yeah, it's all upwards from here basically. Kate, oh crap, I missed it again. Need to catch up. Kate, do not bother. Do not worry. Do not bother. Yeah, just don't bother watching it. It's fine.
Well done, Ben.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, just go back and rewatch. Question: do you have PayPal? Damon, you're the technology specialist.
We don't have PayPal. No, not at the minute. It's on the things. It's on a list to do, along with diet and all that. And we've had a lot of contact over the last couple of weeks when it comes to like PayPal and stuff like that. I will sort it out. We've also been asked to go on to Paracast, which is like a Netflix of paranormal, but I'm in discussions with them about doing that. So at the minute, I tell you something, guys, I'm not lying to you. I've been falling behind with Patreon. This show is major busy at the minute, like proper. So I am getting around.
We was not expecting this sort. Put it this way: when the video went out, I caught it just as it went out, which was Josh's video, and my phone just lit up, and I just turned to Lou and went, "What have I done?" And then I text you. I think I text you the same thing. Just go, "What have I done?"
Yeah, look, we're slowly settling down. We're getting into gear. Things are happening. Don't forget, if you want to talk to us at any time of the day, just we've got a Discord now, links under the show.
Yep.
Grab some merchandise from us guys. So at the moment, we're running 20% off for the next week. I agreed that with them this morning. So from this Sunday to next Sunday, all the merchandise, the prices you see will be 20% off its normal price. So if you want to grab it this week.
Yeah, we need to get some.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's fine, Claire. You can text us after the show if you want. Or anything like that.
Yeah, Jenny's already at location.
I need to get going because we're about to go and join Supernatural. We need to get going because we're going to go and join Supernatural UK. So, guys, if you want to go jump over and see them, as we do,
it will be shared too.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will be sharing the link here.
Live on our page as well.
Yeah, we'll put a live on there.
Yeah.
Right. So, guys, we'll check out and we'll see you in about half an hour.
Bye.
Bye.
So it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from her. And we shall see you then. So peace out, yo.
Bye-bye.